Hi guys, welcome back to Cooking with Donna. Tonight, or this evening, shall I say, we're going to be making up a batch of southern chicken and dumplings. A lot of people have been requesting it. A lot of times I kind of take my time coming back because I'm not really sure what everybody's wanting to cook out there. So by all means, you guys drop me some comments, whatever you feel you may need some help on that I can help you with. I'm always willing to try something new, or but I love to cook up stuff and share it with y'all. So let's get started on this. Like I said, it's highly requested in my family, friends, and everybody. And I believe in the comments somebody requested some dumplings. So we're gonna get some chicken and dumplings made up. So here in my pot, I have a whole fryer. And I got about maybe 12 cups of water in here, just enough to slightly almost cover the chicken, I guess. You don't want a whole lot of broth in there. But, and to that, and I did clean my fryer. You're going to want at least 3 cups of chicken, chopped up chicken. This is going to give me more than I need, but we'll save that for some sandwiches or something later on. We'll make up with that. But we need at least 2 to 3 cups of chopped up chicken, and you want to mix it all up because all the white meat, I mean, if you want the white, all white, by all means use it, but I like to mix it up. There's more flavor there. So in my pot here I have my fryer, and I have, like I said, 12 cups of water, and you do want to use a big pot. That's important. I have 2 teaspoons of garlic powder and 2 teaspoons of onion powder. And not much of the poultry seasoning, just a little bit, probably maybe 1/4 teaspoon, some of that in there. We're going to use 3 tablespoons of chicken bouillon powder. Now, if you don't have this, just use the cubes. The cubes are 1 cube per cup of water, so you would be using at least 10 of them. The rest, you know, control your salt, you know, that's the important thing, however salty you want it. But this here gives a lot of flavor to your broth. So I have 12 cups, so I'm going to add 3 tablespoons. That way, if I need to add some more salt, I'll just add salt. Or maybe even some more of this. It's your preference. So I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of this bouillon, chicken bouillon. Or you can use the bouillon cubes. I put 3 pretty good sized tablespoons in there. And we're going to put a little bit of black pepper in here. And what I'm going to do is just let this simmer for probably 1.5 to 2 hours, because I do want this really tender, fall off the bone. That's what makes good stock and makes a really good chicken and dumplings. So I'm going to get this started, guys, and we will be back in a little bit, and we'll get started on them dumplings and chopping up this chicken. All right. Okay, guys, welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and start these dumplings up. The chicken's not quite ready yet, but it's just about there. So meanwhile, I'm gonna mix up my dumpling mixture here, and I'm going to add 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 cups of AP flour, and I'm going to add, I like to use this baking powder. I've always liked the ones aluminum free, because a lot of them just have too much of that metallic taste I don't care for. So this is a good one. This is my choice. I like to use it. Anything that's aluminum free will work with the baking powder. Then we are going to put 2 teaspoons of the baking powder in here. I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon, maybe a little bit more, just a little, maybe 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And let me get my whisk. Okay, we'll whisk this together. Get this all mixed up. And today I'm using Mama's bowl, so that's going to make these dumplings more special. Mama's bowl. She used to make hers up in, and her biscuits, and And I wanted to mention too earlier on your stock with your chicken and dumpling, you can add a couple of carrots, a couple of pieces of celery in there, you know, for a better stock in there. Gonna give you better flavor, but and then take it out afterwards. That's normally what I would do, but right now I'm just making it the simple way. You guys get the idea where we're going with it. Now I'm gonna add 1/3 of a cup of shortening, Crisco shortening. This is basically something like a biscuit dough. Okay. And meanwhile, whoops, flying flour everywhere, guys. It ain't cooking unless we're making a mess, right? But I'm gonna get this mixed up. You basically want to get it mixed up until it's coarse crumb. And then we will add just a regular old cup of cold milk to it. And let me get this mixed up and we'll get right back with you. Okay, I got this mixed up. Coarse crumbs there so y'all can see what it looks like. I don't know, can y'all see it there? Get an idea? Okay. So that's nice and mixed up. So next I'm gonna add in, make a little well here, and I'm gonna put 1 whole cup of cold milk, just regular old whole fat milk. You want whole fat, or whole fat. Is that funny or what? And I'm not editing that, guys. I made a mistake and I'm leaving it. 1 whole cup of whole fat cold milk. There we go. Hey, none of us are perfect, you know. So, sometimes, you know, like I've said before, you may have to add a little bit more cold milk here. And I can already see I need more. Just a little more. This is actually gonna take more than I thought. Looks like I'm going to maybe have to put 1.5 cups in here, so yeah. You don't really want it really wet. You want this dough kind of where you can work with it. Let's just put it that way. I added probably about 1.5 cups, 1.3 cups of milk maybe. And it's just like biscuit dough, you guys. Don't overwork it. Don't overwork it. Okay. Let me get this cleaned up and I'm going to start rolling these dumplings out. Alright, I have my work surface here floured up really good. Let me move this here so you can see. I have it floured up really good. Put plenty of flour because you don't want your dough there that you worked on sticking to anything and get frustrated and throw it. But yeah, flour it really good there, and then that flour that sticks to that dumpling is also going to serve as a thickener to help thicken up that broth there to make you a nice, you know, thick creamy consistency. So I'm rolling this out. You don't want it real thick, but you don't want it, well, just, you know, you probably know whether if you like them thick or you like these by no means are like the drop dumplings, so I should have mentioned that, I guess, in the beginning. If y'all like the drop cloud dumplings, these are not dropped dumplings. These are southern rolled dumplings, and they're tender. They're really good. These dumplings are so much better. A lot of people make them and they eat them right when it's done, but dumplings actually are really good once you give them time to relax after they have cooked. I like to let mine set at least an hour once they start to cool down, and that dumpling turns out so soft and tender. But I'm getting this rolled out, and I'll give y'all a glance at this here in a minute. I got flour all over my hands, so I think I'm gonna have to call my son out here for a little bit of assistance so he can hold this thing so y'all can see what I'm doing here. So let me get him and we'll be right back. Okay. Alright, so y'all can see here what's going on here. That's basically, you can see how thick I have that dough there. Hopefully that helps you. They're not real thick and they're not real thin. And then I'm just gonna, I only started out with half the dough. I have my other half here that I like to work in 2 separate batches, because it takes way too much room rolling it out. And then just cut off your ends here if you want the square look all the way around. My neatness here has got me where I have to have it where it's square all the way around, but just cut it up however you want it. I mean, but we're going to start out with just some squares. You can cut these as long, as wide as you want them. And then I'll do the next batch the same way. And what I like to do is, let me lift this a little bit here. What I like to do with this is get my bowl, and I'm going to put some flour down on the bottom of this bowl. And each dumpling, I'll just go around and put that dumpling. You see there? See that dumpling? Those are going to be nice and pillowy, soft, like almost like a noodle after they set for a while. So please, give them time to set. I mean, I know it's tempting. You're going to want to eat it as soon as it's done, but if you do let it set, you're going to notice the difference. But that's basically how thick I make them. See there? Okay, and put them on the bottom of the bowl that's lightly floured, and I'll get so much in there while they're touching the flour still. Once they're no longer touching the flour, the next layer, I sprinkle some more flour on top of these. Now once again, this flour is important because it acts as your thickening for your gravy in your dumplings. So don't skip this part, okay? And if it doesn't get thick enough, you can always add a little bit of some cold milk or cold water with some flour and just make like a little slurry and pour it in there. And that'll thicken it up some more. And now we're gonna add some more flour. And this is what's gonna prevent these dumplings from sticking. Okay? Get these in there, and I'm going to finish up these, and I'm going to roll out the next batch, and I'm going to keep flouring, put the dumplings, flour, put the dumplings, and the next step's going to be the chicken and putting it all together. Be back. Okay, the chicken is all done. You can see there, fell off the bones, like I said, it's nice and tender, and here's the dumplings. We're going to get these put in over here. And I did add a couple more teaspoons of chicken bouillon. Just taste this now, guys, to see if it's, whoop, my camera's fogging up there. Hang on. But anyways, what I did, like I said, I added 2 more teaspoons of that. And if you don't want it, leave it out. Or you could use more salt, you know. And you could also add a little bit, if you have it, of some celery seed. It's really good in here too, maybe a half a teaspoon. But if you're using celery in here and then removing it, just don't put in your celery seed. You don't want too much celery flavor here. But now this is the time. This is what we're going to do now. As I drop one, I'm going to keep this broth moving. And have this at, let me turn that up some. You want it at a medium boil. And just, you're going to continue, but you're going to be gentle with these. Just very gentle. And drop them in. Drop and push away. And just move them around. Now this is the time consuming part right here. But I'm going to keep doing this. And once you think they're sticking together, they will. But they'll separate themselves. Don't worry about that. And just keep dropping them in. And then after I'm done dropping these in, I'm going to simmer them on low, probably about maybe 25 minutes to a half hour. And then I will come back and add that chicken in. But I'm going to keep dropping my dumplings, and once I come back and put the chicken in, I'll get back with y'all. Alright? Okay. Okay, we got them simmering, guys. So we're going to give those 20 minutes to a half hour on low Just let them simmer and cook in that beautiful hot tub of creaminess in there. But anyway, we'll be back in a bit. I wanted to mention too, just gently go in between them as you're stirring. Don't come in here just messing it. You know, you'll break those up very easily. So you want to be gentle with that spoon. You want to be very gentle in going in between them and just kind of lift them and shake them apart. Don't go in here doing this, okay? And I'm not going to cover them. I'm going to let them simmer slowly. But I wanted to turn this back on real quick to let y'all know. Do stir them every so often, but not too often. Try not to disturb them that much, but okay. Alright, I can see about 10 minutes from this being done. See there? It's still not quite as thick as I want it to be. So I mixed up a little slurry, which is just a couple of teaspoons of flour and some water. It doesn't mean I'm going to use it all though, but I have this on, you know, just in case I want this thicker. So about 10 minutes before it's done, that way this can cook in here for a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit, and this will thicken. Now that's already getting thicker how I want it. And a heads up too, I'm not sure if I told y'all, make sure you drain the fat off the top, some of the fat off of it. Skim what you can off of that fryer that settled there on top. But I can see this is as thick as I want to get it right here, because after this sits, it's going to continue to thicken. So this is probably about thick enough. Well, maybe a little bit more. So I may end up using all that. So I'm going to let this cook. Like I said, it's like maybe 10 minutes from being done, and I'm going to add my chicken in. But I wanted to show you all this, and you just, I'm sitting here with this stirring, and I got my kid over here eating up the chicken, y'all. Curtis? Okay, be back. Alright, we're going to add our 3 cups of chicken. There's approximate, I guess. There may even be even more, but I got at least 3.5, I'd say. But I put I think it was both of the quarters I used on the chicken, the fryer there, and I used 1/2 of the breast. And I just cut it in some little cubes. You don't really want to serve that much, but you can, you know, shred this if you like shredded. But sometimes I'll do the shred, sometimes I'll do the chunk, but the chicken. And now is when we like to let this set now, and like I said, let those dumplings relax, because if you eat them now, they're going to be a little tight, and you want them to relax. Put a little bit of pepper, a little bit more, and just let these set, you guys. But these are really good. We're going to have a pan of cornbread with these later, and but I'll dish this up after a while, after they set and thicken up, and let y'all see them served out. Alright? And also, I like to top this with a couple pats of, maybe 3 tablespoons, big tablespoons of butter. Not like there ain't enough fat in there already, right? But butter makes everything better. Who are we kidding? So we're going to let that set. Let those dumplings relax, and we'll be ready to chow. Alright, here we go. Here's the finished chicken and dumpling. We're about to eat here. It's really good and thick, and those dumplings came out real good. You can see how thick that is there. See if you can get a closer look at it here. I don't want it to slide off the plate, but it's really good, you guys. So, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Please like and subscribe, please. And if you see anything or can think of anything that you may need some help with or like to see me cook, just let me know. And until next time, we will see you guys later, and have a blessed day.